Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review inside a Range Rover. What is the full name of this? Range Rover Sport SVR. Yeah. So yeah, this is Range Rover Special Operations. So they took the Sport and they went to town. Wow, did they go to town. This thing is bitchin' badass. That's the best way to say it, bitchin' badass. I'll say it fast enough that maybe the maybe the parental stuff won't go off. So it's a big supercharged engine, lots of blah, 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 grumbling in the sound, beautiful pipes, drives like a dream. Oh man, this thing is fun. This is a beautiful, beautiful rig. It's not cheap, but it's awesome. Wow. All right, so it's supposed to be an interior review, and I'm just waxing on about how great this drives, which I will point out, in the last week, I got very little footage of this car, being as I got married. Check out that. That's pretty cool, huh? And this was actually what we drove on our honeymoon. Nice people set us up with a luxury muscle car SUV. So here we go. The valets were happy, but I did check mileage. There wasn't any Ferris Bueller shenanigans, so they were pros. So, all right, over here we'll just get started. Here's a door locks up here, seat memory settings there. Here's the door handle, and then here's a nice little neat little cubby you can throw some things in, little extras, you know, food for the road, trash, whatever you want, whatever you think would fit in there. Up on the sill are the windows and mirrors, so you can see, hopefully, yeah, there we go. So you can see here, this actually is the child locks. This is the, I forget what it's called. They have a name for it, access height. So it moves the vehicle up and down. These are the mirrors, so you push one or the other to adjust. You push this to fold them in, and use this to move them. Over here is the first of the vents. All right, so down here, this releases the rear hatch. This, you pop it out and you can adjust the dimmers right there. And way down over there, hopefully, is the hood release for this. That's about what you got. You can see the sport pedals. Booyah. No, I did not drive it while wearing these flip-flops. These are purely for, I'm walking around the driveway. All right, steering wheel. This is relatively complicated looking, but not bad. If you saw the Range Rover or the Land Rover Discovery thing that I did, this will look very, very familiar because it is almost exactly the same. In fact, it is exactly the same. I'll just say that. It's exactly the same. So, what we're looking at is, I had to turn on the seat coolers because it's really getting warm in here for no reason. It says it's 85 degrees, which it might be inside the cabin, but that's not what it is outside. So over here, you have your cruise control stuff, so you can kind of see what it does. It's pretty obvious, honest. It stays on, so you don't have to turn it on and off. Middle button is resume, so if you have it set, it will resume there. And then here's your distance settings for the adaptive and up and downs. This is lane keeping. This cancels cruise control. This is a speed limiter, which is a Jaguar Land Rover thing. So you can set a limit speed rather than, so not how fast you'll go, but how fast you want to keep yourself from going. So in other words, speed limit is, say, 35, and you don't want to go faster than 35, you can set this at 35, and it will help prevent you. It doesn't prevent you because you can override it, but it will help prevent you from going over the speed limit. And then, of course, this is the steering heat. Over here, this little thing controls, I can get to it. Right now it's controlling the infotainment, so the audio. Let me see if I can shade that. It's controlling the audio on the infotainment, so you can see volume and stuff like that. Now, if I push this in the middle, this changes. Now you're controlling the driver information screen up there. And then you can go back and forth, whatever, and okay. And it will eventually go back to what it was before. There you go. if you're not using it. Telematics over here for phone calls. Down here's voice control, which works pretty good in this, even if you don't have a British accent. It works pretty good in this. that was my little British car joke reference. Did you get it? Yeah, it was awesome. And this goes to your first pre-select stereo and turns on the radio at the same time. And then you can jump through the different pre-select stations or streaming. Actually no, it goes right to the radio, so it does not run if you're streaming off your phone or whatever. That's a useless button. But yeah, and then it jumps through those presets. Paddle shifting, which is getting in the way of showing you the signal turns. Maybe if I can kind of get to them, probably close enough. So right now you can't see it, but this is on auto for the lighting. You can change it to these other settings, so you can manually do it. You can go to just daytime runners and turn them all the way off. This is the information, changes that screen up there. This right here is this right here. I say that a lot too, I noticed. Anyway, here's your fog lamps, signal turns, of course, and brights back and forth. Over on this side, you got all kinds of windshield wiper happening. So moving it up and down, you move it, tap it down to run them once. Push it up to auto, and this will control how aggressive that auto is. Put it on low or high, and this will control how speedy that is. Over here is, on just this side, that runs the rear one. And then you can push this to run the back squirter, and you can pull it towards you to run the front squirters on the front windshield. And then here you can see, of course, the other paddle shifter. These are real aluminum too, which is cool. I don't know why it's cool, but it is cool. So that's all I got to say about that. Like, oh, and up there is the stop start button, the engine start button. Instead of being down, I'll show you that in a minute. So instrument cluster, 100% virtual. You can change a lot of stuff on here. I'm not going to go into how to do that, because if you have one of these, you should just spend the time fiddling around in the driver menus to do it using that. But I will show you the basics here, and this is more or less the default screen, I think is the way I would say it. So you can see right now it's got a tachometer, speedometer is digital and in the middle. It's also, there's a head-up display in this, which I would highly recommend because it's much more useful. Over here is your driver information. So right now it's looking at cruise control stuff and driver safety stuff. So it's telling you whether or not lane keeping assist is on or off. So if I turn it, see, there you go. And then over here is, right now it's showing maps. It would also show like infotainment info if you're like streaming or running off the radio, whatever you got going on your main infotainment screen. And then you can see a few other things. This has this, like most Jaguar Land Rover vehicles, this has the, it can read street signs. It's pretty good at it, unless it's something complicated like school zone between these hours or school zone only when blinking, that kind of thing. Tends to screw those up, but I haven't seen one that doesn't, so there you go. Engine heat over there, fuel over there. This is a big gas guzzling machine. If you're worried about fuel economy, you are looking at the wrong vehicle. But tons of fun, because that's kind of your trade-off. Let me see if I can get I got the head up to show. See, so there's the head up. That white square there would be a speed sign if it knew where we were and what we were doing. For some reason, I cannot get the seat heat to stay on, or the seat coolers. Okay, over here is here's your Duke's lights and first of the vents. This is the new infotainment screen. So this is very similar to what we saw in the Land Rover Discovery. Slightly different design. It's a little longer, I would say, like wider. Otherwise, same system, works the same way. So you can see down here all the quick menu buttons, self-parking over here, parking radar there. You can look at all your cameras, and you can click on individuals, like, if you want to like zoom in, you have to double tap. And so you can do that. Lots of neat little things. You can also see, so you can choose what you want to be doing. Neat, really cool. I like the camera system in this a lot. Also, entertainment and so forth is all along here. And these menus here. So you can go to the longer ones here and look at what you want to see. Pretty cool stuff. Down here right now it's showing climate. Most of the time that's what it will be showing. You can also show other things. So you can see I have the seat coolers on. There's no massage in this, which was a little bit disappointing, but the rear seats, boom, are also heated and cooled. So there you go. So what you do is, I'll have to show you how this works because it's a little bit of a pain. So you see, well, not a pain, it's just more complicated than it needs to be. So you see it's on heat, and then it shows you it's on +3. So you can turn it down here, and then you can go to cool, maybe. This is the part that I always screw up. Maybe they don't cool because it's the rear seats. So you can turn the rear seat heat on. Now up here, what I did to turn on the cooling, let me see if it's on cooling on this side. Okay, so it's on heat. There we go. This one will work as a demo. So I turn it on for heat, I turn it down, and I keep going, and boom, I'm cooling. See? So you can just adjust it however you want, just like that, and you turn it on and off like that. This, when it's on climate, which I'll do right here, you can turn the climate on and off here, turn on auto, all that good stuff. These become temperature adjustments, and then you can see some hard buttons for a few things. Then you can also go to the vehicle menu, so you can see, you can set drive modes from here or do it from the drive mode button. I'll show you. This shows you what mode you're in. You can set it to automatic right here, which I'll also show you how to do otherwise. This is for the loud pipes. This is for track mode. That shuts off the engine stop start. You can also go to some settings. You can change a few things here. So pretty cool. I should show really quick, if you, whatever you want the startup screen to be on this screen, you can change it. So you can go to any of these to use whatever you want for your startup screen instead of defaulting to climate. So pretty cool. Nice system, easy to get used to, and easy to run. Over here you have some drink holders. You can put a phone in right here, also a phone right here. This is a better spot, FYI. And then the bougie cover is piano black, reflects everything. Really pretty, hard to keep clean, have to dust a lot, FYI. Over here is your shifter. One of my beefs with Jaguar Land Rover is I do not like these kind of shifters. They're too small in my hand. They don't feel very awesome. And it takes away the cool factor of the little rising dial that I prefer. Because it's like, you know, good day, Mr. Bond. You saw that in the Discovery. If I keep referring to that video, I'm going to link it, obviously. Down here you have some other controls. Traction control here, hill descent, crawl control there. Over here is hill descent. So that's crawl control, hill descent. This is the vehicle height, so you can raise and lower the bodywork a little bit. This goes into low gearing. Now, right now, pushing that down, we're in auto mode, so it decides what to do with itself automatically. Then you can shift through the drive modes, turning this dial. I will show you what that does, because this isn't showing you any indication. So, boom. Right now we're in comfort. Then we can go to grass, gravel, and snow. Shows you kind of what you're doing, what it does. Here we're in mud and ruts, also showing you what it does. You can tap the screen for locking. Here's the sand, and here is rock. So pretty neat. Yeah, it's telling you that you have to be in low range in order to do rock mode. And then we go back to auto, which is auto terrain response. Here's your parking brake. Pull it up to set, push it down to release. This is a dual layer thing. So right in here, this is rubberized. You could put a phone right here and have space, because there is a decent amount of space between here and here. And then you can see it would have access to these plugs. Then when you open the second one, I'll show you the button releases, but you can see there's a 12 volt, there's your memory card for the nav, and then here's some more. And then down here is a little storage, not a lot of storage, but a decent amount, I guess. And let me see if I can get just one or the other. So there we go. So you can open them like that. These tabs right here, this opens the bottom, and this opens just all of it. So this opens and leaves that down. This opens and leaves that up. So there you go. Felt lined if you didn't notice. Then looking at the dash and stuff, you'll see a lot of Discovery in this. They're very similar vehicles. But you have an upper and lower, so you have a proper British glove box here, proper glove box, I should say. And then you have the storage box down there. that is the sport activity bracelet. I believe that I talked about it. I did a video on that. If I haven't, you'll see it soon because I did do some video for it. Over here, this door mirrors the driver's door, so a window up there that opens up to show storage cubby. There's your seat memories and so on. Really pretty. I really like these sport seats, even though they're sport seats, and normally I don't get along with sport seating because I am not small. I'm 6'3" and 250 pounds, but these are beautiful. They're nice, well bolstered, really comfortable. The vents and the heating work really well. Hi, other cameras. I'm using two because I'm testing a new one. Back seat looks really good. See it back there. And there is no third row in this, but there is a good sized cargo area. Really well done. Back seat has some controls, if I could maybe get some of those in screen. So there's their controls so they can run their own stuff, or you can run it for them up here. And yeah, I mean, that's what we got. This is such a pretty vehicle. Really well done. So there we go. That's the 2019 Range Rover Sport SVR. Yeah. I like long names like that. Makes it sound like gentrified. Okay, that's what we got. This has been Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com. 2019 Range Rover Sport SVR. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.